ripped is harder. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. I'm the best ever.
All right, joining me now on the sit-down is knockout artist Craig Alexander from Tiger Schulmann's MMA. What's up, Craig?
Very good, man. How are you?
Craig is a polished MMA fighter. Currently has a record of 11-3-1. That's AMI. He's about to make his pro debut. Who's been your toughest fight thus far?
Oh, definitely Cody Young.
Cody Young. I watched the Cody Young fight. Cody Young won round one, in my opinion. Don't punch me in the face or nothing. You came back and you won the next two straight, and you choked him out. Actually, you finished the fight. Did Cody show you anything you haven't seen before?
Just he was really strong, tough as nails, and to be honest with you, I actually thought I lost 1 and 2. I thought I had to finish that fight to win. So that's what my mentality going out there in that third round. I was just going out there. I'm like, all right, it's time to go out on my shield, or not at all, you know. But yeah, he was tough, really strong. I know his background was kickboxing. I was really shocked that he shot on me and took me down. That hip toss really surprised me that he wanted to go to the ground.
Cody is, I believe, a purple belt in BJJ.
Yeah.
So now you have the Tiger Schulmann logo tattooed on your chest. You're very loyal to your camp. You're a diehard Tiger Schulmann guy. What are some of the people and some of the things at Tiger Schulmann's that make you feel so passionate about the school?
I mean, Tiger Schulmann's is just amazing. I started training at Tiger Schulmann's when I was 4 years old, and I trained from 4 to 11. And actually, when I got out of Tiger Schulmann's, I was getting in a lot of trouble. So when I got back into Tiger Schulmann's around 16, it literally saved my life. Sensei Campbell, helping me with my training and just allowed me to stay and work at the school all the time. Just kept me on the right track, and loved martial arts, and it gave me, a passion for something. It gave me a career. So I owe everything to Tiger Schulmann.
So you started at the age of 4, and you were inspired by Teenage Ninja Turtles, right?
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
So growing up, what are some of the things MMA has helped you do outside of being able to whoop someone's ass?
And just the fact that you know how to defend yourself just helps everything. Just giving you MMA gives you the confidence, knowing that you can defend yourself in any situation. Just that confidence carries itself over to any interaction you may do. Human beings are pretty normal. That as soon as you see someone, you kind of mentally match yourself up. Like, all right, this person tough, this person not. And you don't want to go out there and be a jerk to someone. You don't want to be aggressive, but you want to be assertive. You want to be a strong person, and just the confidence. No, if this situation ever devolves into something bad, you can handle yourself in any situation. And plus, it gives you, gives me great shape, which is what's more important than that too. Give me the energy to go out and do whatever I want to do throughout the day. I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, go to my training up in Bergen County, New Jersey, and I train, I drive 2 hours, train 2 hours, drive 2 hours home, teach for 6 hours. I usually don't get back to my house till 12 o'clock, and then all over again 5 days a week. So just the energy it gives me, the confidence that, knowing how to defend yourself gives you, is nothing else like it.
You're not that big or menacing a dude. I mean, you're kind of scary when you come out in your MMA shorts with your gloves on. Right now, for the people that can't see, which is everybody, Craig's just here chilling. He's got some DC sneakers on. He looks like a skater kid. Like, you would definitely tell Craig to stop skateboarding on your steps, you know what I mean, before you but he'll break your arm or omoplata you or some shit like that. Craig is a very, very tough dude in the ring. To me, I think you're kind of like a Dan Henderson type. You're great on the ground, but you hit hard as shit.
Grappling, I definitely took to grappling a lot faster and a lot more natural at grappling. But I love hitting people. I love knocking people out.
You now, you've been training since you were 4. How old are you now?
25.
25, all right. So you got tons of years in. When was the first time you actually knocked somebody out and realized, you hit hard enough to do that to another person?
First time I actually knocked someone out.
Was it sparring or? Sparring,
there was a couple times in sparring. Like I said, you don't follow up with your training partners, but there's been times where you catch people and you rock them, and some tough people too. And so then I knew, all right, my hands are getting way better, and then I started to just let my hands go in my fights. I definitely came first in my training, and training with really good people. And at first I wasn't doing that. I was hitting people, I wasn't hurting them. And eventually, just kept working on it, hitting heavy bag sparring, and eventually I started hitting people, started backing them up, started hitting people, and you can feel it when you hit someone and they don't like to get hit. You see them back up, you see the look in their eyes, and you're like, okay. But again, you don't go full force on your training partners. These are my friends. But then like, all right, let's try this in a fight. Then in the fights, I would slowly let him go, and it's been working for me, and I've been loving that part of it. My first real knockout in a fight was Mike Serrano.
Mike Serrano?
Yeah, it was my first knockout in a fight.
What did you catch him with?
I stumbled him. I believe it was the second round. I hit him with a cross, and I saw him. He got all shaky leg, and I dropped down, hit him 4 hooks to the body, and I came back up with a right hand to the jaw and put him down.
Nice. Okay, so you're currently the head instructor at Tiger Schulmann's in Feasterville right now. Speaking of your training partners, Julio Arce, have you got a chance to really spend some time and train with him?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's an animal. You know, he's an unbelievable grappler, unbelievable kickboxer. He's one of those guys that he hits hard, but he's so fast. He don't stand in front. It's so hard to hit that dude. He's unbelievable.
I've seen him knock someone out in Matrix, and it didn't take that long. I don't know the exact time, but
no.
He has lightning quick hands. That dude's a stud. Okay, so Tiger Schulmann's, are you teaching everything, all facets of martial arts? Is there an MMA class there, or is it broken down into individual disciplines?
We split it up. I'm not the head instructor. I'm one of the head instructors. The other head instructor is Sensei Thad Campbell. But we split it up. We do a straight either beginner kickboxing, where we teach everybody the basics, jab, cross, hook, front kick, knee kick, low kick, either shadow boxing or hitting heavy bag.
Right.
And we build their basics up through there, and also getting them in great shape. And then there's also other aspects of it, like our sparring class. We start teaching them timing and defensive techniques in a beginner class. We also have our grappling classes too, which we also split up in the beginner.
You teach all of those?
Yep.
Okay.
We teach them. We split up in the beginner part where we teach people a really solid base. We also have our intermediate and advanced side where we teach them a little bit farther to get their game a little bit better. Who
are some of the guys right now at Tiger Schulmann's, outside of you and Julio, that we should be looking for?
So many. We have Luis Gaudino, fights at UFC right now, 125. Jimmy Rivera, who's tearing it up in Bellator, actually going to be in the bantamweight tournament. Nick Pace, who fought in the UFC, actually just came back to fighting. Did a pro kickboxing match and beat the kid up really badly. The kid couldn't walk out of the ring. Low kicked him so hard. One of my training, it's unbelievable. One of my training partners, Shane Burgos. I've been training with him for a long time. He's going to make his pro debut on the July 27th card. Unbelievable grappler, unbelievable kickboxer. Just every time getting better and better on each fight. So there's a bunch of guys right there. Lyman Good, fighting at Bellator.
Yeah, Lyman Good. I've seen him fight.
Absolutely, yeah, unbelievable. Can't wait to see where he goes. He keeps getting better, keeps training all the time.
Tiger Schulmann has a bunch of different schools, am I right? I mean, he's got like 20 schools or something.
45 right now. We got
45, that's insane. Tell me a little bit about Tiger Schulmann in terms of his accomplishments as a fighter, and what does he present to you in terms of being a trainer that really helps your career?
Oh, well, a little background about Tiger Schulmann. Tiger Schulmann, he started training as a young kid. He started training in more traditional martial arts, Kyokushin karate. And when he was coming up, he actually started competing at the age of 16. Back in the late 70s and early 80s. He actually went from the age of 16 to 21, and within the 5 or 6 years, he actually went over 100 different competitions undefeated. Wow. Yeah, and that's a feat right there within itself. But on top of that, back in those days, there was no weight classes either.
That's some Frank Dukes blood sports.
Yeah, right? It was crazy. There's actually a highlight reel. If you look on YouTube, type in Tiger Schulmann's highlights, you'll see it. It's unbelievable. The old school Kyokushin fights, open weight class and open age. So at the age of 16, he's going against full-grown men, knocking people out with head kicks. That's how he got his nickname Tiger, because his kicks were unbelievable, just knocking people out left and right. And the cool thing about that, he was unbelievable as a Kyokushin fighter. But he wanted to get better. He saw the first UFC in 1993 and started getting better at ground.
How is Tiger Schulmann's ground game?
Unbelievable. He's our head grappling instructors.
Okay.
Unbelievable. He's a genius when it comes to making people better at grappling.
Is he a BJJ black belt?
Not exactly BJJ black belt.
Are you guys more catch wrestling?
A little bit, yeah. More of this not traditional BJJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you've won many events such as the Challenge of the Champions. You've won Naga tournaments in both the advanced and expert divisions. You hold an amateur kickboxing record of 6-1. Is that still right? Have you had any since? Okay. Your amateur MMA record 11-3-1. So what's it do for your confidence knowing that you're one of the top blue chippers on the local scene?
It just, you know.
Do you feel like you are?
I feel like I'm really good. I mean, I never really thought myself as one of the best, but you know, that's why I like to keep myself humble, and I want to be the best. That's the drive I have. You know, I want to be the best.
Humble's good, but you're a bad dude.
Thank you.
Humble's good, but you're a tough dude, man. There's people that get in there and use their martial arts skills to defeat their opponent. Then there's guys that like to fight, and you can see it in their eyes when they get into a cage. I think you're a mixture of both. I've seen you. I think 3 or 4 of your fights now, and each time it looks like you genuinely are at home in the cage, like you really enjoy yourself in there.
I love fighting. It's something I really enjoy doing, and it's a passion of mine. It's something like when I first started fighting. I had my first amateur kickboxing match in 18. I was 18 when I had my first fight, and I was fighting a bunch of times, and I didn't even know you could get paid for these things. I had no idea, like that was an option. I was talking to Ceci Campbell one time, and I'm like, you can get paid for these things. I was just doing it to do it because I love to do it, and the fact that there's a career in fighting, the fact that you can take it to that next level is amazing, and I definitely want to be up there with the top guys. But getting paid is a bonus. I would do it for free either way, but getting paid is a bonus. The fact of the matter is, one of these days I want to just keep going through the ranks and getting better and better as a martial artist.
I'm curious. Number one, if I'm going to stop sweating throughout this fucking interview, I apologize. It's like hot. 115 out there.
It is hot out today, oh yeah.
If I could turn the air on, but then all you fuckers would hear the buzz in the background. You're not a big menacing dude, we covered that. You don't look like Bam Bam Bigelow with head tattoos, or you don't have teardrops. So when's the last time someone actually like fucked with you on the street, kind of got in your face, bumped you, said something to you while you were with your girl, any type of that bullshit that goes down?
Last time I had something that really, I can't even remember. Every now and again someone might like say something.
Road rage?
Yeah, like road rage. I had someone, it was a couple months ago, they said something to me in the car, and I was like, okay. And I was like, okay. And they didn't want it. They turned away from me and they drove away. So, I mean, that was the most recent thing.
It's funny to me because you enjoy fighting. I mean, that's like someone getting out and saying, come on, let's fucking play tennis, motherfucker. And you jump out and you're Andre Agassi with your racket. Like, you enjoy that shit. I think
absolutely, I love it.
We're going to take our first break. We were here with Craig Alexander, Tiger Schulmann. We'll be right back. Okay, we are back with Craig Alexander. If you don't know this guy, you're going to know this guy. He's extremely tough. Craig's that guy, he's going pro now, so he's going to get a lot more attention, especially after he starts knocking people out on the pro level. Craig's that guy you might run to get a soda or something at one of the events, and when you get back, your girlfriend or your friends are telling you this red-haired guy just knocked this guy's fucking head off. You missed it, and you're kicking yourself. Craig Alexander, remember that name. When you see it on the program, don't go to get your snacks. So out of your 11 wins, you've stopped 7 of your opponents.
Sounds about right.
Okay. Stopped 7 of your opponents, and you stopped them with everything from strikes to an omoplata to a triangle choke. You're very well-rounded. You started with karate, I believe, and you just worked your way up through all the martial arts?
Yep. Well, like I said, when I first started training as a young kid, Tiger Schulmann, we still did some of our traditional routes. And we still did some of the katas and old school martial arts, but we also did kickboxing. We also did regular kickboxing in there. That eventually we got integrated into grappling in the curriculum. Then, like I said, I took a couple year hiatus, and I came back when I was 16. And by the time I came back, we were full MMA, Muay Thai kickboxing from the start, and submission grappling all throughout.
So before we move on, one more thing about Tiger Schulmann. If we rewind 20 years ago, put Tiger Schulmann in the UFC. I mean, you think he's kicking ass and winning belts?
Unbelievable, absolutely. He's an animal.
Okay. Let's talk about bully prevention. I seen that on your website as one of the things that you guys offer. You guys teach a class to assist with that.
Yes.
How do you feel? Obviously, it's a proud thing when you can stop a situation where a bully is trying to intimidate a kid. But how do you feel when you find out that somebody you train actually kicks the bully's ass like really bad? Do you feel bad about that, or do you feel like proud?
Well, it all depends on the situation. You know, we teach our kids the whole bully prevention thing, and we go over different scenarios. Like the kids just like calling them a name. We don't want them to spaz out and beat the crap out of them.
Right.
But we've had situations where the kid does have to beat the crap out of someone, and if it's deserved, we applaud it. We actually did give you a story. One of our students, I believe he's 10 years old, and he's only a blue belt in our curriculum. He's only been training for about a year, and he was at a pool party like 2 weeks ago, and he's talking to one of these kids, and this kid's actually a black belt in another martial arts school. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. That black belt in another martial arts school, and the kid was being real disrespectful to my student, and the kid and my student tried to walk away from the situation, and the kid tackled him.
Oh, really?
The kid tackled him,
well,
which is funny because the kid comes from a traditional karate school. You would think he would try to strike, but no, he tackled him. You know.
Right.
So what happened is the kid put him in a guillotine, submitted him. The kid tapped out, stopped.
Did he know to tap? Like, do kids know to?
He was screaming, so he yeah.
Verbal tap?
Yeah, and now, on top of that, the kid let him go, turned away again, jumped him again from behind, had to put him in a guillotine again before the kid learned. And we were talking to his parents. The parents came in and told the situation about it, and we've been telling that story to all the students in the school, making this kid feel great, because now his confidence is unbelievable. And that's a really cool story, because it's not easy to stand up for yourself, especially this kid being a little older than the kid was, a little bit bigger than the kid was.
Right.
Knowing the kids, they knew each other. The kid knew he was a black belt in another school. So, I mean, when something like that happens, we award the kid. We tell him, like, this is a great thing.
I'm surprised, though, that a kid with a black belt from another school, obviously you got to be doing martial arts for a little bit to work your way up to black belt. I'm surprised he would still be doing that bully shit.
I'm surprised, too. I would not.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about last night's fight. Ryan Kerwin is in the building, by the way. Shout out to Ryan Kerwin. Last night's fight, Anderson Silva. What did you see happen? I seen him showboat. He got knocked the fuck out, obviously.
Showboating too much. Okay. Showboating a little too much there.
You never showboat, or at least I've never seen it.
No, I'm not a showboater. I like to go out there and just fight. But if it's up to me, I'd finish the fights as fast as possible. But, you know, it's a little bit different. Anderson Silva's been fighting for, you know, he's almost 40 years old, has so many fights, and the fact that he was going out there, and I was a little worried with that heel hook. I thought he was going to get finished with that heel hook. Got out of it pretty easily. Then from there, he started showboating and usually gets away with it. You know, you can say what you want. He got knocked out, but he's a great martial artist. Unbelievable. He just did it too much and got knocked out, and that's what happened.
It does normally work for him. He actually showboated with Vitor Belfort and ended up kicking his teeth down his throat, so it worked.
Yeah.
But on the other end of it, I think he was showboating, but I was telling my wife, we were watching it, I told her that he's showboating, but he's not landing anything significant when he comes back. It's not like he's showboating, then landing 3 or 4 hard strikes, then going back. He was showboating, and then he would miss some strikes.
Yeah.
He landed a couple good leg kicks, but I had Weidman win in the first round. Yep. And I told my wife, you can't do that no matter how good you think you are. Chris Weidman isn't the #1 contender just for the hell of it, just because they need fresh meat. He was 9-0 at that point. He worked his way up. Now he's 10-0. You can't stick your chin out with the #1 ranked person in your division. It's career suicide. Yeah. So I wonder if maybe he was tired of all that pound-for-pound stuff, and maybe he wanted it out. Maybe he has kids, he has a family. Maybe he didn't want to be, you know, on the king of the hill.
Who knows? I mean, who knows? I mean, I think maybe he bought into that myth, just like everybody else did, that he was untouchable.
Fedor was untouchable. Fedor used to be my pound for pound, but I think Anderson.
Absolutely. I mean, eventually everybody gets caught. Yeah. The name of the game. Eventually.
I got Anderson #1 though. They say you can't teach a chin. You feel like you're just naturally gifted with a chin?
I think I'm a little hard-headed, but I think one of the major things that allows me to walk through shots that I take is not the fact that my chin's so good, it's because every time I get into a fight, I take it 100% serious, and I'm in unbelievable shape. And I think that's when you see people fight and they can get hit and keep coming through is because of the shape that they're in. That I was able to get hit and recover. Because I got hit. That was the first time in that fight, in any fight I had, where I took a body shot and I felt it. That knee kick to the body shot, it hit me and I felt my whole body. I'm like, oh. And the bell rang, and I'm like, thank God that bell rang. But 10 seconds after I got to my corner, I don't sit down in my fights. I hate sitting down. And I was fine. I was bouncing around like, all right, ready to go. And I think that's the major thing.
You've never been knocked out, right?
Nope.
So that shot from Cody, is that the worst one you've ever been hit with?
Worst body shot. I've been hit before. I've been rocked before in a couple fights, especially, and I've been dazed before in a couple fights. I had a kickboxing match where I got caught behind the ear, which I don't remember a whole round. I have the fight video. I have it online. I have it at my house, and I got the ref actually gave me a standing 8 count. Still don't remember it to this day, but never been knocked out.
Okay. So you always bring a huge crowd. Tiger Schulmann has a giant following. You get an amazing pop once your entrance music hits. How does that make you feel when you hear all of that support? Is it more pressure on you to deliver, or are you just happy?
No, I love it. I love it. I mean, I don't know. Some people react to pressure differently. Everybody reacts a little bit differently. I fucking love it. I mean,
right.
It's one of those things that when everybody is there to cheer me on and everybody's watching, I shine. I love it. And when that's going on, I don't. Yeah.
I was actually sitting behind your mom watching the fight. So how do you feel fighting in front of your parents? Do you ever feel like you're going to get hurt in front of them, or is your mom worried for the other guy?
No, my mom's one of my biggest supporters. My mom, my dad come there, but my mom's the one that you see cheering all the time, real crazy. Every single one of my fights, and she's definitely one of the loudest ones you can hear. And no, I love it. You know, I think I want them to come every single time. So it's really cool that they come. So
your mom put you in MMA or karate at 4, and your career is like completely gone 360. I guess you can blame the Ninja Turtles for the way you're beating the shit out of people nowadays. You fought Travis List at Xtreme Caged Combat's Uprising last May.
Yep.
Before the bell rings, you're saying something to him that looked pretty intense. What were you saying exactly?
I had a little conversation with him before the fight. He wanted to touch gloves, and I was like, yeah, sure. I'm not thinking about it because actually I actually saw it. One of his first fights, he went to go touch gloves, and the guy cheap shotted him, which is legal, 100% legal, but it's still kind of cheap. And he wanted to be like, all right, you want to touch gloves before the fight? And I was like, yeah, sure. But to be honest with you, when the ref calls us in, I'll touch gloves then. But I hate that crap where you touch gloves every round.
Yeah, some people touch gloves like 3 times.
I don't like doing it. You know, I don't like doing it. I'm super respectful before the fight, after the fight. But in that time, we're fighting. We're not friends. We're fighting.
So does it drop your kill meter down from like a 10, ready to go, adrenaline pumping, to like an 8 or a 7 when you do that glove touch?
No, because I don't do it.
Okay.
I told him. I was being real cool with
So
him.
that's what you're saying?
Yeah, I was being real cool. I'm like, we're going to touch gloves down. We're not going to touch gloves in between. He's like, okay. Yeah, that's all.
And he came to bang. Travis List is a tough dude.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully we see him again.
Yeah, he was tough.
So where it is no one outworks you when you're training for a fight, what are some of the things that you do to ensure that you're training harder to your opponents and get the victory?
Okay, well, I train up at our fight team. We train for 2 hours, 2 hours, you know, an hour either striking, grappling, or wrestling. Then afterwards, after every single thing, you know, cardio is like religion to us. We always do cardio, whether we're running, bag training, plyometrics, every single time. We never miss. Then after that, I go back, I teach for a couple hours. Then after classes, I'm there training by myself for another hour, 2 hours at night.
So your whole life is pretty much dedicated to becoming a professional, and I guess all the way the UFC, everyone else's dream, right?
Yeah.
What weight do you want to fight at when you get to the big leagues?
45.
145. Okay.
45. Yeah, 35. I feel like I walk around like 170. I think sometimes people cut too much weight and they lose a little bit.
Right.
So I think 155 is too big. I see some people at 155 that are crazy big. So 145 I think is the perfect weight for them.
What's your day job?
I'm an instructor for Tiger Schulmann's. Full-time.
Oh, okay, cool. So you get to do what you love for a living.
Absolutely. I couldn't wish for a better job. You know, get to help kids and other adults, you know, get better in shape, teach them confidence, teach them how to defend themselves. It's unbelievable.
So you're an instructor. You have an insight into some of the people that are kind of like assholes. They come to learn karate for the purpose of hurting somebody. Without naming names, have you guys ever had to throw someone out of the gym for just being a dick?
Yep, absolutely. One of the things that we have that in our gym, we want to keep it such a like a family atmosphere. You know, we all know each other. You know, especially me and Sensei Campbell. Teaching every single class, we know each other. All the students are friends. You know, the kids, you know, are friends with the other kids in class. Eventually, all the adults know each other. So we want to keep it as best as an atmosphere as possible. Right. So if there's ever that negative atmosphere in there, and we'll talk to the person, we try to help them. But if it lasts too long, you know, it takes one drop of poison to poison the well, or whatever the saying is. So we don't want that to happen. And so if there's someone like that, yeah, we'll get rid of them.
Have you ever seen Tiger Schulmann have to get tough with someone?
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen it personally, but you know, he's definitely had to get tough with people. Okay. So I've heard stories. Yeah, he's definitely not one who.
I like to hear these things. I want to hear about someone in like Blockbuster, like snatching the last copy of you know, a movie out of Tiger Schulmann's hand. I want to hear. It's funny. It's a funny picture to paint. I want to hear how bad someone gets their ass beat by these MMA legends. All right, we're going to take another break. We'll be right back with Tiger Schulmann MMA's Craig Alexander.
Broadcasting live from the penthouse atop Center City's largest skyscraper. Or better yet, live from a converted tool shed in Levittown, Pennsylvania. It's Sitdown Radio with your host, Mike Bicky.
Okay, we are back with Craig Alexander, Tiger Schulmann's MMA. Craig's about to make his pro debut. Have you won one of those Xtreme Caged Combat Fight of the Night awards? They're really nice. Trophies?
Oh yeah, they are really nice. I won one my last fight back in May.
You get to keep them, right? He doesn't have to give them back.
Yeah,
Ryan told me how much they are. They're pretty pricey.
Yeah, no, they're really cool. I got that sitting on my shelf with the belt.
Next fight of the night in September is going to be Ryan's Camaro, I hear.
No.
So that's
okay, cool.
So I'm going to start the call-out clock with Craig Alexander. Is there anybody you want to call out, be it a local fighter, be it a local promotion, be it the mailman for not bringing your check, or anybody, anything in this world?
Calling out fight-wise? Not, I mean, not off the top of my head, no. I mean, just right now, making my pro debut, you know, first pro fight, just I gotta work my way up.
Okay.
Gotta earn that first. So, you know, I'll put the work in just like I did in the amateur scene and work my way up to that.
Okay. We're gonna play a round of Chillax Tap or Pimp Slap.
And now it's time for Chillax Tap or Pimp Slap. Chillax meaning you can hang out with anybody in history. Tap meaning you apply an incredibly painful submission until you feel like letting go. And Pimp Slap meaning, well, a good old 70s fly guy Dolomite pimp slap square in their fucking face.
Someone I like to hang with. One cool person I heard a lot of stories from, Johnny Cash. Sounds like a fun person to hang out with.
Johnny Cash, yeah, but Johnny Cash would rob you. He was a criminal before. But he makes some good shit, man.
I just heard stories and it sounds pretty cool. I mean, it's actually kind of funny because I'm not actually that big of a fan of that music, but a little bit. But I actually heard some stories about that recently. I'm like, wow, that sounds some fun stuff. But
Johnny Cash is good. I actually wasn't too familiar with his music, and then Chevy commercials started putting it in there, and it's like, oh shit, let me Google Johnny Cash.
Some crazy fun stuff.
Anyone you want to tap? It could be the bully that stole your lunch in second grade. It could be me for sweating like a fucking pig 5 feet from you. It could be anybody you can think of.
Anybody I can think of.
I lost 5 pounds today interviewing Craig Alexander.
One person I like to tap, whoever made that goddamn rule about not making you can't make a right turn on the red light. Some places you can, some places you can't. I got too many tickets for making a right turn on a red light, but you can't. Whoever came up with that rule, I'd love to tap them out.
No right turn on a red light.
You should be able to, especially if it's clear. I should be able to make a right turn.
I completely agree. It's not like it's a left. All right, pimp slap. Who gets the pimp slap? There's got to be someone out there that annoys the piss out of you.
I can't think of anybody off the top of my head.
Not a problem. Craig's going to keep his hands to himself on this one. All right, so if you want to train with Craig Alexander, he instructs at Tiger Schulmann's in Feasterville. The address is 1045 Bustleton Pike, Feasterville, PA. Contact number is 215-825-8919. New students, what's it normally like when somebody new, fresh off the street, walks into Tiger Schulmann's and signs up?
Well, the first thing we're going to do for a new student, we're going to have them come in a little bit early. We're going to have them come in and take a free class, one of our beginner kickboxing classes. Before that, we're going to go over an orientation with them. You know, just give them a little background about Tiger Schulmann's, you know, pick their brain a little bit about their goals, and then have them take a free class and see how they like it.
What about women? You have women's classes, right?
No, the guys and men's are mixed together.
Okay.
Yep.
Any success stories from women that have defended themselves in an emergency situation thanks to Tiger Schulmann?
Yes. Actually, I've had this one student, I think her name was Aileen. It was a couple years ago, and it was back in Cherry Hill. And I don't think she was in Cherry. She wasn't, and she was in Jersey somewhere. And it was a crazy story. She was walking to her car. It was really late out at one of the 24-hour supermarkets, and someone followed her to her car, and she turned around and blasted the dude. The guy came up right behind her, in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a parking lot.
Just on her heels?
Was that just on her heels? Freaked her out. She said the guy tried to grab him, blasted him 2 times in the stomach. The guy turned around and ran away. So that was a pretty cool story.
So Tiger Schulmann trained women will actually whoop your ass. They don't do like the hit him in the balls or poke his eyes. Like they physically will whoop your ass.
Yeah, one of our fighters, one of our Sensei Muna Holland.
Muna Holland's tough as hell.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know
she's
Muna.
unbelievable. She'll kick the crap out of anybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, we teach him how to really defend himself, just like any guy.
Cool. All right, Craig will be making his pro debut on Xtreme Caged Combat in September 28th, actually. No opponent has been announced yet. Do you even care who they put in front of you?
Yeah, whoever it is, take it.
All right, we're going to thank Craig Alexander for coming in. Look for him September 28th, where he will be winning his pro debut, and a nice new Fight of the Night Camaro to go along with it. Craig, thanks for coming in. All right, we'll see you next week.
Very cool.